Audio Jungle.
In this special episode, we're going to be analysing some of the best heats of the distance battle and working out why the hell Mika is so much better than any other female.
Audio Jungle.
The quarterfinals. They weren't really worth watching. Actually, that's not true. The quarterfinals had Arthur doing that sick rewind. That was sick.
This was the first time a Hinterberger to blind's ever been landed in a competition, so that was quite exciting. The history of rewinds being landed in competition is a bit blurry. No one really knows when they were done or who they were done by, but general consensus is surely Bebe did it at some point, just no one can quite remember.
It's not something I've ever attempted. No doubt I would find it easy, but I hear that it is quite difficult. So good on you, Arthur. Maxime was so underpowered in these quarterfinals. Wow, on 11 as well. Why didn't change to 13? No one knows. But luckily enough, he was against someone who was just about useless. Joe talking to Juan was like, that was maybe the worst moment of all.
That Slim 7? It was like this, huh?
And then actually my natural optimism kicked in and I thought, do you know what? If Joe can keep going through this and not cry, this is going to be improving him so much. He's going to be so good at presenting and broadcasting and that. They'll probably be getting him in to do Wimbledon or something actually important. Wow, so here we are. Got to the semi-finals and I realised that Valentin was not going to be in it. Which I was like, what the fuck? He was the one I really wanted to see. He's the reigning champ. But he's not, and he's in the intro, he's in all the teasers, but he's not in the actual heat. So that was lame. And then I went to investigate why he's not in the actual heat, and basically I think we can translate that into couldn't be arsed, didn't get it done. The Maxime versus Liam semi-final was banging, and here's how it happened. Maxime opens up with his front blind mode just to get out of the way, I think, basically, so he can focus on what he's actually good at. In contrast, Liam leaves his front blind mode manoeuvres right till the end, but we'll get back to that. So Liam went 3-1-7, front blind mode with 2 grabs, double Mobe 7, KGB 5, and then he basically spends the last 2 minutes trying to get the front blind mode 5 in. And when I was watching it, I was like, Liam, why are you trying to do that? No one's done that in competition before. I feel like Maxime's right up your arse and you should probably just try and improve a few of your other scores and then get through this. But actually, in hindsight, that was the right thing to do because it would have won in the heat and it would have been a world first and it just would have been sick. So Liam, good on you. Unfortunately, he didn't land it and he did get locked out and it was all a bit sad in the end. But good on Maxime, first time he's ever beaten Liam. And to be fair, I think his back Mobe 7, Maxime's Mobe 7, was the best ever done in competition, according to me. And I know everything, so. Due to sexism and the inherent inequalities of our society, the women did not get a quarter-final. They had to start in their semis, which began with Thingy against Thingy. No, I need to get their names right, otherwise I'm contributing. It was Rita Arnus against Pippa van Ursel, who went out, and I think maybe they got told to look as underpowered as they possibly could, because I was quite surprised that they could even leave the water with that little amount of bar pressure. So that was pretty shit. But then the next heat, Mika against Paula, I think it is the best heat of the distance battle. These two against each other. And maybe a part of that is that Paula has blocked me on Instagram, so I never see anything she's up to unless I go incognito on my laptop, which I don't know how to do. So when Paula does come on my screen, I'm like, you are going to get thrashed by Mika. She is so much better than you. The heat began with Mika trying to tell us that the wind wasn't that good in Brazil.
Both conditions were a bit tough,
which no one believed. Paula rode with more power than I've ever seen her ride and was just landing everything, and it was a joy to watch. There was a point where I was like, is she gonna beat Mika? Because I don't think anyone could do that, but looks like Paula might. The one thing that held Paula back was the dreaded curse of the cameraman, where if there's a camera on a beach around kiteboarders, everyone swarms them because the riders think that the videographer desperately wants pictures and videos of them. They don't. This would have infuriated me to the point of kicking them in the face if I was Paula, but she decided to be more composed and just sat off to the side for about 30 seconds of her 5-minute heat before breaking out of the dickhead shackles and laying down a KGB in the dying seconds of the heat. Honestly, Paula looked as though she was riding for her life, which maybe riders are riding for their lives these days, because I think there's a bit less money going around and I think everyone's a little bit worried. So she came out of the blocks fucking hot. This, in my mind, was the final, really, because I think Paula would have thrashed Rita and Pippa if the heats had worked out like that. My last comment on Paula's riding will be that I particularly like the way she almost killed that bloke after landing her first trick. She was giving zero fucks about anyone downwind. Good on her, and I think maybe she was due a couple more points for that, really. Watching this heat also made me think, what makes Mika so fucking good? Let's get to the bottom of this for once and for all. And I think it's quite simple. She doesn't pass the bar with her arms straight. Which, I know that sounds a bit condescending to the rest of the women, but honestly, that is it. She slacks her kite out better than anyone else and then brings her bar into her hip. I honestly don't know how Paula manages to pass the bar and land it every time with a straight arm, because that's just making it way harder for her, but she still manages to do it, which is mad. I think I should add, though, that Mika is way better than anyone else at the moment, but I don't think she's better than Gisela was. Yet. She is 15, remember, Mika. Like, she won her first world champ when she was like 7 or something, so she is pretty good. And I think by the time Gisela peaked, which was like around 20, 21 years of age, Mika has the potential to have completely rewritten what is possible for females with a kite. And then came the finals, which began with Joe explaining COVID to us, which he had done every single broadcast.
Due to the COVID-19 situation, travel restrictions are really hard worldwide.
He did this in total 5 times, which is amazing because really we didn't even need him to tell us once.
Anyway, the finals involved Mika giving Rita a kite lesson. Apparently Rita really enjoyed it and will probably be back for more. And then over in the men's, Maxime took on Aduri. Aduri was very underpowered and I was just kind of begging for about 10 more knots for him, because that's when he really comes alive and scares the shit out of everyone. But it was not to be, and Maxime took the win pretty comfortably, and he even did this kite loop front blind mode, which I think you'll all enjoy.
So the distance battle, let's just round it up before the sun completely blinds me for the rest of my life. I reckon it was not a complete disaster. I really enjoyed those 2 heats we've highlighted, and I think it highlighted where the whole thing could be better next time. Like, say this shit show continues and the GKA are forced to do another one, why don't we do it like what it says in this comment? GKA, can you... Yeah, if they had done it like that, Liam definitely would have won the men's, because his recent edit, that Grease thing, was just like out of this world. I don't think there's ever been a more technical freestyle edit. If they did do it like a video part, you might even get stuff from like Tom Bridge, which would be mad to see judged, like doing doubles toe side, which no one else can do, and doing just the weirdest shit that no one has ever bothered to even think about. But that would be quite different to this, which is, you know, you've got 5 minutes, go and fucking do it, as opposed to you've got 2 months, go and get the best clips and put it into an edit with a banger underneath. So that's what it should be next time, I reckon. Yeah, and that is all of that. Thank you to me as always. We will see you in the next one. Goodbye.